Hi, welcome to our league match versus Nirvana FC. We've got a cup, EAFA, what's this one? A cup, what's this one? Quarter final against Phantoms coming up. It's the match after this one, so just need to be a little bit mindful of that. I mean, I don't think too mindful. Just, for example, I think we don't want to play McAllister because he's one yellow card away from a suspension. And also because Hazard is sort of, almost as good, so it's not a big deal. But we can keep McAllister on the bench in case we need him. And then obviously Yaich is suspended, so we've got to play somebody else. We've got no choice here. And I think Laurie Cunningham just slots in there. And then I think, can he play attacking midfield okay? I mean, I think he might. Whoops. Yeah, that's a bit silly. So I think what we were saying, Cunningham, and then I think we want Fernandez on the bench here. And then I think McAllister, Hazard should start instead. And then I think the other one is that Tinkler should probably start despite him having a knock, but Tarantini probably shouldn't. And we should probably just do something like this. So I think this is okay. So let's go with this. Now probably, I mean, Tinkler has had knocks, so his starting team is a bit weaker than normal. Carter is a slight step down from Tarantini, so that's a bit weaker than normal. Hazard is a slight step down from McAllister, so that's a bit weaker than normal. Cunningham is a pretty significant step down from Yaich, so that's weaker than normal. I think all of those things cumulatively, our team is actually, weakened by an amount that is not going to be insignificant. It's going to be something measurable here, and you can tell already that our start isn't particularly good at all here. I think we just, in fact, I'm already so unhappy with this start that we're already just going to say, look, let's just pull Lee back and let's just get through this part of the match without conceding, because I just get the feeling this isn't one of those matches where we're just going to guaranteed to score lots of goals. This might be more like one of those matches where we have to fight tooth and nail to get a result, and you can see that this has helped our team find a bit of balance since we've done it. I think it was 3 shots to 1, and now we're 5 shots to 3. So since we've made this change, we've had 4 shots, they've had none. So I think we definitely want to keep it. Plus we're winning, so we're more stable, we're more solid defensively, and we're creating a lot more. So I think really you just want to keep things as they are. Now they've obviously had 1 shot, but I don't think that changes the greater picture here. And we just really want to leave this as it is. As long as we're continuing to control the match, I think as long as these two things remain true, really, we're very much in control of the match and we're winning. It doesn't really make sense to change this, so we're going to leave it. So it was 3 shots to 1. So since then we've had 8 shots to 5. So we're not. When we had 4, was it 4 to none? So since it was 4 to none after that, it's now 4 all, and they've scored. But luckily, it's disallowed. I think we're not controlling as much. As you can see, last 10 minutes there, it's all them. So I think we can pull. I think we need to think about this basically at half time. So we said as long as those two things remain true, that we're still well in control of this match and winning, we wouldn't change things. However, we're no longer in control of this match, and they've actually had a decided goal. I think we just need to change things again. I think Tinkler can come off. This is probably something that can happen here. We might just have to bite the bullet here and bring McAllister on, because he is just the best player. And then I think what we can do is we can play dual holding midfielders maybe and go defensive, and maybe we can press a bit here. So I think so I think we need another change. So I think that it's really whether what do we want to do here. Do we want to stay locked into this sort of defensive setup? Really hard to say. I guess we don't. So let's try this. Probably press a bit more here. I just feel like, okay, we got a minute. What do we want to do here? I feel this match is just so much in the balance. I feel like we can bring on another defender. We can bring on a fresh midfielder. You know what? I just think let's just shrink into our shell and try and defend this result. Now we could obviously live to regret this decision, but easily live to regret it. But I just think that okay, I'm not happy with that. First direct. Okay, so real tough fought match. Because we're playing like with width and long ball, so it was, I don't know. The thinking was just it might help us just be a little bit better. I mean, we were obviously clearly taking the pressure on. It was really just a case of just changing something. And we had no width on the left side at all. Actually, that's kind of probably a mistake. Like literally no players down the left hand side, probably until we made that change. So I think that probably might have helped a bit. Maybe we should have shifted Carter to left back. Maybe we should have put James over to the left wing instead and left Lanark up front. I don't know. But we're on the back foot, and they were having a bunch of shots, and we just changed something. I don't really. Hopefully that was the reason we won, and hopefully it was a good decision, and hopefully it helped. It appeared to help a bit. Hard to say. But really, the decision was: do we go this commit to trying to defend this match? Was that the right decision? Obviously, we successfully did it, but the result doesn't justify whether or not the decision was correct. And the fact is that since we changed it, they actually had a few shots. Our keeper was forced to make a couple great saves. Probably was a mistake, because we were pretty lucky, really, that they didn't score. They easily could have scored. And so, you know, I don't know. Who knows if it was a mistake? I think it's not clear. It's not crystal clear that that was the correct thing to do. But I mean, just because we won, it doesn't make it the right decision. I guess that's what we're saying. Maybe it was. I mean, the thing is, we don't really play ultra defensive a lot these days. We don't really have to close matches out like this very often. So we don't really have much of a feel for our team doing that anymore. And at the end of the day, we've got one of the better keepers as well, so we should be able to count on him to get us some results sometimes. And I think you could say that, you know, this is just one of those matches where having a good keeper just helps, really, because it's a pretty balanced match overall. And, you know, all things being equal, when it's like this, you play this match 100 times and it ends up like this. 8 shot, you know, whatever it is, 6 shots on target each. And if that happens 100 times or whatever, then generally speaking, the team with a better keeper is just going to win more often than they lose. So there's a reason why you want to, good keepers cost a lot of money, like good players do with any position, and if you're going to make that investment, then sometimes it's just going to get a few results all by itself over the course of the season, and this might have been such a match. Outside of that, things weren't going well early. We changed things up. Then it went better. We scored. We continued to go better. We left it, and then things started to turn a bit. And I think overall we reacted quite well. Really, we're stacking up quite a few yellow cards. We made the decision to bring McAllister on. I guess the real big decision really in this match was it the correct decision to not start him in the first place? Probably not in hindsight, because we already were missing Djajic and some other, and Tarantini had that knock, and so we're missing Djajic, we're missing Tarantini. I think it was already the case that our team was weakened, so to some degree I think there was definitely an element of overconfidence on our behalf that we would win this match more easily than we did, and that we would win it more easily than we did, and therefore we can rest McAllister, when I think that was just a mistake really. We ended up having to bring him on, and that was the right decision, I think, to get him in there before it was too late and it cost us the results. I think that was a good decision, but I think it was the wrong decision to have not started him, I think. But again, it's really hard it just all depends how you look at it, because at the end of the day we still won, and he didn't get the yellow card, and now he's not suspended for the next match, which is a very important cup match. So it's like, well, it all worked out in the end. So was it a mistake? Probably was a mistake, but it really all just depends. At the end of the day, so what we're really saying here, I guess, is that we were lucky to win. I think this is the long and short of it. Draw was probably the deserved result, and at the end of the day, it probably was worth getting a draw and making sure that we had a fully fit team for the cup final. Now, bearing in mind what we did didn't guarantee at all that we'd have a fully fit team. It just, in the end, it didn't even guarantee that McAllister wouldn't get the yellow card. So really hard to say. We were lucky to win. Probably wasn't that big a deal if we got a draw anyway, because we got such a lead in the league that we don't necessarily need this win, and we can look at that. Let's look at that. So got such a ridiculous lead in this league. Wouldn't have been the end of the world if we had a draw in that match. That'd be fine. We're still probably going to win this league. So I think on the balance of things, maybe it was all okay. Bearing in mind that it was okay if we drew, but we still wanted to try to win. Maybe on the balance of things, we just did make the right decisions for that match. Interesting one though. We don't get a lot of interesting ones like that where you won, but did you deserve it? Did you make the right decisions to get it? Were you lucky? And there was decisions that were made before the match even started here that impacted it, and obviously decisions made during the match as well. Matches that affect the wider context of the whole season with the important cup match and things like that. So I think it's quite an interesting one from that perspective, and it's just not black and white, unfortunately. A lot of these areas, just important thing is to be aware that these things are all important. They're all factors that you need to bring into your decision-making process to try to make the best decisions. I think that's more what this discussion is about. So cheers, thanks for watching, and catch you for the next match.